do it live.
I was talking to my previous interview, Tukey, and we talked about hypothetically if Tukey was going to come to Memphis, where would I take? What would a day be like in Memphis? Where would I go? Where would I? And we kind of chose some things that he had experience with, and it was Gibson Donuts, of course. It was Gus's. He heard of Gus's, and he had it once, and he can't forget about Gus's. He was raving about Gus's, and then he brought up the Rendezvous. This Rendezvous and Gus's seem to be based on that small sample size. What people outside of Memphis have heard. What would you say? What would you?
I think Gus's is. I think Gus's is unbelievable. I really do. I mean, I think it's. People talk about the barbecue or whatever else here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gus's is maybe the best fried chicken I've ever had. I think it's really and so many times you take someone to the place and it's vaguely disappointing. I think Gus's is sensational. So 100% Gus's. I really like Gibson Donuts. I took my kids there. Honestly, for me, what I like about Gibson Donuts is it's got a happy vibe to the place. And like when Don DeWeese is there on a Saturday morning throwing donuts to people, it's just a fun place to be. I don't know that I think the donuts are so much better. Like I'll often get a blueberry donut there. And do I think that blueberry donut is better? I'll tell you what I really like. I like the apple fritter. I think the apple fritter there is sensational. So I might go to Gibson's. I certainly would go to Gus's.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might take him to Jerry's Snow Cone. I think Jerry's Snow Cone, like that, the snow cones at Jerry's.
Yeah.
When I thought of a snow cone, it's this crunchy ice, which is fine, and then the flavors in the bottom of the cup, but at Jerry's, it's like silky. It's the whole thing is infused with the flavor.
It's New Orleans style. That's what I grew up on.
Is that what it is? Well,
yes. If you're ever in New Orleans, if you're in New Orleans, or if you go down to watch cover a Pelicans game, whatever, go to this place. It's called Sal's. It's been there, and it looks exactly the same as when I was young. And it's in Metairie. It's not in New Orleans. It's in Metairie. I mean,
delicious. And the bar, like I actually think like Memphians like to crap on the Rendezvous. They say it's overrated and whatever else. And it's fine. I don't love the Rendezvous ribs. They're as ribs. I'd rather have wet ribs. It's just whatever.
Sure.
The atmosphere is cool at the Rendezvous.
Mm-hmm.
The Virgoses are incredibly nice. The atmosphere is great. You're down in the basement. It's like, and I think the barbecue nachos there and the brisket there, honestly, are great.
You ever have donuts at my place? Let me say what my favorite place is Howard's Donuts on Summer Avenue.
I have been to Howard's on Summer Avenue.
Yeah,
I've been to Howard's on Summer Avenue many a time.
Yeah, that's where I took my kids growing up.
And do you think the donut at
I do.
If I gave you right now a donut from Howard's and a donut from Gibson's in a blind taste test, could you pick out which is which? And would you prefer the Howard's?
I could. I definitely could.
And which would you prefer?
And here's something else, Geoff. I would prefer Howard's on Summer. And I like Howard's on Summer better than the Howard's in Lakeland. Even the Howard's are different, but they're close.
Right.
But I'm just talking straight glazed donut, nothing fancy. Just give me a glaze here, give me a glaze here, give me a glaze here. I can tell you which ones are which and who. I could tell you Howard's are probably the worst for you health wise.
Really? Is that true?
I
probably
think so.
That's probably why it's so delicious.
I think so.
I also like there's a place on Summer. I like ethnic places where I get stuff that I can't make at home. And so it's called Queen of Sheba on Summer, which is really good Middle Eastern food. There's a place not too far from where I am called Foso 8, where I get a great banh mi. There's it's curry. There's a really good Indian place called Curry Bowl. I think it's called Curry Bowl. It's really good. I actually think, for me, Memphis has all the food I need. It's delicious.
It really is. It really is. I'm a big fan of Central Barbecue. That's probably my
like Central Barbecue.
Yeah, on Summer as well.
It's consistent across all things too. I like the ribs there. I like the barbecue there. I like the nachos there. The wings, people really love the wings there. I think it's got a lot of versatility.
Are you a burger guy?
I like burgers.
Where's your go-to for a burger?
So the place that I probably go to the most for a burger is Belmont, because it's pretty close to me and they have a really good burger. Belmont has a really good burger. But I mean, I've been to Roxy's downtown. That thing is unbelievable. It's just downtown. So I don't Roxy's Grocery, it's an experience too. I've had the Tops Burger, which is fine, and I've had the Huey's Burger, which is good.
That's my favorite.
Where do you go? What?
Huey's. When you say Huey's, that's my favorite.
You like your Huey's Burger? Well, I mean, the Huey's Burger wins Best of Memphis, and it has for the last 70 years, as far as I can tell. I like Huey's. A lot of times I get a steak. I get a cheesesteak there, though, when I go to Huey's too. Sure. So, this town will make you fat. It's good food here.